Hi, I'm Tracie, and I would like to show you exactly what you get when you order a nutrition and fitness personalised DNA report. That was a mouthful, but it's a very, very detailed and factual DNA report, and I've had plenty of people inquiring, so I wanted to walk you through it. This is what it looks like when you print it out of the PDF version, and it's filled with lots of information that we'll be going through right now. And I would like to show you exactly what you get when you order a nutrition and fitness personalised DNA report. That was a mouthful, but it's a very, very detailed and factual DNA report, and I've had plenty of people inquiring, so I wanted to walk you through it. This is what it looks like when you print it out of the PDF version, and it's filled with lots of information that we'll be going through right now. So this is what the PDF version of a Nutrigenomix DNA report looks like. You have your front page. It's a very pretty, well laid out report, and I'm just going to walk you through it just very briefly. So there's an introductory page, hello, and what the report is all about and what you're going to find within the report, the science behind this DNA testing, and this is extremely important to understand, that I can explain to you in consultation, but you also have here as a reference. Then you get the table of contents that lists exactly what the report is going to illustrate and cover, what page it's on if you ever needed to reference back to that as well. But what we're getting here, straight to the chase on pages 2 and 3 of the main report, are your summary of results. And as your practitioner, this is where I go through things with a fine-tooth comb and explain it to you what your DNA is telling us about what you need. It is broken down in different compartments just to make it a little bit easier for yourself and for me as a practitioner, just so that we can focus on what your primary goals are. But I just wanted to run through in a very general format because everyone has different goals when you're looking at this. But what we're looking at here is a collection of DNA results based on nutrient metabolism. Now, this is about the essential nutrients that we all need to function well, and some of us genetically will require some of those nutrients more than others, and here is a list of what they are. Now, this report is so beautiful, and to the point where it highlights if we are needing to focus on a particular item and a particular gene. So this is the dietary nutrient column. This is the gene column. This is the risk variant. So when we're looking at genetic testing, we're looking at different variants and risk variants in your SNP of DNA. And then, of course, it comes with your variant. So if your variant's matching that risk variant, it's going to show up elevated, so that you need to focus on these particular nutrients in your diet to perform optimal, to perform like you're wanting to feel, basically. And, you know, when we get to things like very, very common things like B12, vitamin D, folate, even choline, these are very, very common nutrients that a lot of people know about because they know the detriments of being deficient in these. So when you know this, when you have this information, you can target and plan your diet according to getting enough of these nutrients and the foods that contain these nutrients. And of course, if you, for whatever reason, don't feel like you can obtain it all through food, then that's when supplementation would be advised. So moving on, this is the nutrient profile. There's a lot of information there. This is also extremely informative. This is our food intolerance and sensitivities. Now, DNA testing is one of the only tests that can pick up a factual response of whether you are intolerant to foods or not. The only other tests available on the market that include blood tests and even skin prick tests, allergy tests, they're more to do with an immune response, whereas an intolerance and a sensitivity simply means that genetically speaking, your digestive system cannot tolerate these foods in the diet. So we have lactose, we have gluten, and we have caffeine, and we discuss this in detail. Cardiometabolic health, this is all about the heart and what foods and lifestyle activities will influence heart health, which is extremely important. So we discuss that in detail too. We have more and more. We have the weight management and body composition, because a lot of my clients do wish to improve their health because they want to alleviate some symptoms. They want to live a bigger and better, happier life. But some of that does also relate to their weight. They simply are putting on weight. They don't know why, or they do know why, and they need to have some clarity about what they can do that's efficient and sustainable for long-term weight loss. So the DNA report definitely helps with that. In particular, this client, you can see they have a variant that shows an enhanced response to physical activity. So they actually fall in the category of having a faster metabolism that will respond that much better to exercise than the next person. So if this client really focuses on physical activity as part of their health regime, they will notice weight management and weight loss. Okay, it is the difference, and that answers the question of, is there such a thing as fast and slow metabolisms? Yeah, and it can come down to genetics, absolutely. Energy balance, we've got proteins. So this is when we start getting into the macronutrients and just, again defining, so what should you eat? Not only are the nutrients that we spoke about earlier important, but also, okay, let's talk about the breaking down those macros in your diet to see just how much of every food you need. So this person also needs an enhanced consumption of protein. They need to and this is where we work with their diet in particular to make sure that every single day they are achieving optimal protein consumption. We talk about fats as well here, so the different types of fats and the amount of fats. They did have a response to saturated and unsaturated fats and monounsaturated fats. And so this is about really, again, working to form a meal plan as such, or a lifestyle plan to say, okay, enjoy your fats with every meal. They're extremely vital for health, but this is the amount that you should be having every day with your meals, and this type of fat here and this type of fat there. Eating habits is also going to be helping us to understand the individual a lot more and what they're drawn to and what we might find as a bit more of a challenge when it comes to weight management or overall health, or perhaps it'll just tell us a little bit more about their personality choices to direct them to certain foods that might appeal to them a bit more. And then we talk about exercise, physiology, fitness, and injury risk, and this is huge. So this actually tells you, genetically speaking, what you are going to excel at, not only for maybe that competitive edge that you want within sport, but also, so what is your body going to respond to best to achieve the results that you want. So this person has come back with a power and strength advantage, meaning that that resistant weights, that using their own body strength or using weights within their exercise regime will have benefit to their overall well-being, and they will notice a physical response to that more than, say, if they were focusing on cardio and endurance. Okay, many clients I've seen have come back with both power and strength and endurance, and what a bonus, because they get that benefit of really having that power and that endurance model behind them and their blueprint to help them with physical activity and to achieve results. Down here, we talk about muscle damage, pain, bone mass, and tendon injury. And what this muscle damage response here really helps us with is to talk about not only a certain diet that we should be following to help our muscle recovery, but also be looking at the amount of exercise an individual needs to do to benefit from weight management and overall health, but also to limit damage, because that's the last thing you want to be doing is over exercising when it may cause damage. they're the results. There are a few more on the further pages, but I just want to focus on this for now. And what you'll see then on the pages therein, it's a 50-page document. You'll see each individual marker. So we'll go back up here. You'll see the vitamin A, B12, C. All you need to do is refer to the following pages, and it gives you a big breakdown of what is vitamin A, where you will find it, talks about your gene and the risk variant that caused you to need an elevated response, talks about the recommended amounts. It even gives you some food sources. I, in practice, branch out on this. This is nice, but it's not really informative. So this writing is extremely informative with health science and DNA testing, and it is on every single page. So when it comes to vitamin C, vitamin D. So it's an extremely valuable resource to have. It's lifelong, and it is, it tells you exactly what you need when it comes to your blueprint, your genetic blueprint and your DNA. I hope that's been helpful.